All right. What's going on, good people? It's Will P with candleincharge.com and going over my trades today really quick. It's 10:28 at night, so I'm gonna fly through this video. It's two main stocks that I'm gonna speak about. SHFS and MLGO. These were the two that I really focused on. I took 4 or 5 trades, but these were the two important ones. And this one here came up on my scanner. Um, I don't know if I ignored it or if I just didn't see it come up when it came up, but this was a huge stock right here, UPXI. Uh, it dropped some news around 8 a.m. 8:13, I received a note, an alert that this had been added to my unusual volume scanner. Had jumped from like $3 to $6, and then between 8:15 and 12 o'clock, it had squeezed up to, or gradually made its way up to $22. That would have been a huge move, man. Oh, well, I'll get it next time, right? And so I'll just show that on the chart. But the big thing I wanted to go over were my trades on SHFS and MLGO. And so let's just open up the charts really quick. You can see my P&L that I am $4.69 in profit for the day. Um, Now it looks good and it feels good to be in profit, but I'm not definitely not proud of the way I got there. And so let's just go to the trades here. We have the first one, SHFS. And so SHFS, I was first drawn to it this morning because it was making some nice pre-market, well, what appeared to me to be some nice pre-market moves. So each morning I get up around 5:30, make my coffee, and then I um, get on the computer and start loading my charts, listening to my scanners, looking at my scanners and what have you. And so this one here, 6 o'clock, it's making a move for, crossed over the 200 EMA, and yeah, the criteria that I look for in a entering a trade. One is the stock over the. Now I'll say this. You got to see I totally disregarded it in a few moments. So one, the 20 moving EMA is over the 200 EMA. So the 20 is this gold colored line. The 200 EMA is this purple colored line. And so, and then the green, just so you have context, is the 9 EMA. And then this pink is VWAP, the volume weighted average price. Down here we have the MACD. Um, and so 6 o'clock, 6:07. It's set up for a good entry. Now I'm not trading at this time. I use Schwab Thinkorswim, and so I can begin trading at 7 o'clock. But when I see this good movement going on here, beautiful setup. The 200 is at the bottom and the 20 is on top. The 9 EMA just crossed into price. Price is moving in. We have a hammer here, which is an entry indicating hammer or candlestick, and followed by the next candle to make a new high. Boom, that is textbook right there. And so it goes from 380, 390 um, up to a high of $4.50. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm gonna catch this once the market opens. And so here's where things went down. 7 o'clock, it's at a high, and it comes off this high, but I'm so excited. So I noticed something last week. You may have heard me mention it in another video, which is as long as the 9 EMA is above the 200, then there's still some potential for the move to happen, right? To stay open. But once the 9 EMA crosses over the 200, which it is right here, then the move is over. And so why did I get into this trade? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, so here's what happened. Here's my thought pattern. I saw all this movement going on between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. And so I'm like, well, it's got to keep on happening, right? I mean, let the good times roll. And so I see the high of day is right here, this green hash. And I see what I think is a candle in charge, right? A new candle in charge. You get this doji here. It's at the lowest low for this retracement. And so have the doji, and then we have the next candle to make a new high. The 9 EMA is in price. We're still over the 200 moving average. The one thing that did not happen here was the 9 EMA had not crossed over the 20 EMA. Remember, I said a moment ago that once the 9 crosses over the 20, then the move is over. If it crosses back in over the 20 on top, then you have some potential. And so, you know, bottom line, I jumped the gun. I was anticipating that the 9 would cross back over the 20, and I wanted to be the first person in line to trade this stock. I mean, look how close it is. Oh my goodness. I'm like, man, it's gonna cross over and it is going to test. It's gonna maybe test the high of day, but then it's gonna break through the high of day, and I'm gonna be rich by lunchtime. And so we get the doji here. Boom. That's nice candle to indicate the move up. And then we have the next candle to make a new high. Boom, I'm in because it's so close. I just know that the 9 EMA is going to cross back over on top of the 20, and then price is just going to skyrocket up. It's going to shoot through 511 all the way up to, I don't know, $20 or something like that. Well, that's what I thought, but the lesson I learned today was don't anticipate. You don't make a move until you have all of the indicators. So, yeah, this would have been a great trade potentially if the 9 actually did cross over the 20, but it didn't. And so I got into the trade. Now, the first thing, so first of all, I should not have taken the trade. Let's start there because I did not have my indicators. But now that I'm in the trade, I have my first candle to make a new high, but then I get a doji. Just like the doji said to get in, this doji was telling me to get out. And then not only do I get the doji, I get, they're not shooting stars, but they're kind of looking a little like shooting stars with the little wick on the bottom, meaning everything's about to come on down. And then you have the double tops here, or tweezer tops. And so I'm just ignoring everything. I'm just so, you know what, I'm gonna trade this stock and I'm gonna make buku dollars. So should not have gotten in to begin with, but since I got in, should have paid attention to this doji right here. Should have paid attention to these tweezer tops because what happened next was just not fun. So let's zoom out a little bit. So you can see you have the high of day, and instead of price breaking through, it just started going down. This is the back side of this move. I believe I was zoomed in so much, so far in, that I did not realize that I was going down until I was already down, right? Sometimes you got to get down with the get down, but not like this, you know. After so it's just self-destruction. Oh my goodness. So get into the trade. Here's a high of day, 7 o'clock comes down. So I knew not to get in at the high of day and just to wait a few moments to see what happens. So I'm like, okay, it's settling down, it's going a little sideways. So I get into the trade, boom, $4.63 one share. Turns around on me. I'm like, oh, and so here's the other part. Why do I keep adding to my position? I have a hammer here, but you got to take it in context because yes, you have a hammer. Boom. Okay, candle in charge, get a reversal, next candle to make a new high. Yeah, that looks, you could stretch that part, but you know what you still don't have? You don't have that 9 EMA crossing over the 20 EMA. So now I'm 2 shares in and I'm going lower. A few moments later, oh, maybe this is the candle. I don't even know what that is. That's definitely not a, even in messed up situations, that's not a reversal candle. Hammer, reversal candle. This, no. What are you doing there? But I got in for another share, so now I'm 3 shares in. And then keep on going, still going sideways. Zoom out a little bit so I can kind of see what's going on here. Got to learn how to work these charts. So boom, 463, 430, 428, 419. Price is just going lower and lower and lower. Oh, maybe this is a move right here. Nope. I'm just buying all willy-nilly. Now I'm in survival mode, right? I'm just, please just let me get above water. That's what I'm looking for here. But then, there you are. 409, 408. So I started at 463. I'm just buying and buying and buying like money's going out of style. This is a real account, by the way. This is not the demo account. Let's learn how to trade. So now I'm saying, well, let me just up the number of shares that I have. Now I'm buying 3 shares. 3 shares here, 408. All this buying, you know what's still not happening? The 9 is not going over the 20. The one thing that does give me some saving grace is that it's staying close, so I know that at some point it's going to give me something. And then so we get here 842. So I'm in this thing since 7:15 or something like that. 3 shares at 410. Keep it going, keep it going. I'm just, man, look, it's going below um $4 now. 8 shares at 399. 5 shares at 375. So at this point, I believe I'm 25 shares in. And so my mindset is, well, one, should have cut your losses. Shouldn't have gotten into the trade. Should have cut your losses. You know, when you got the doji flat top, tweezer top, tweezer top. Um, should have had your 1-to-3 ratio on so that if it does go down, that I would be out after I lost 1%. You know, 10 cents or something like that. Ignored all those. So now because I was stubborn, greedy, whatever you want to call it, not following my own fundamentals. I'm the one who made up that 9 EMA rule that says once the 9 crosses over the 20, the move is over. Once 9 is over the 20, And you have all the other supporting indicators. You know, you're over the 200 EMA. The 200 is on the bottom. The 20 is in the middle. Price is on top of the 20, and then price is just riding the 9 EMA. You know, you're good. I totally negated that. And so finally, I get a glimmer of hope where what happens? Price crosses over, or the 9 EMA crosses over the 20 EMA, and it tests the 200. And so once I see that, it's okay. It's just a matter of time now. And actually, look, the market's open now. And so it's testing up here. It looks like it's trying to test the 200 EMA. It tests a little bit right here, so it's kind of bouncing off of resistance. And then finally, I get um, the the 9 EMA crosses over the 20, and it breaks over the 200, and it goes high enough for me to get a little bit of profit. So $4.20. I really wanted it to get to what my original take profit would have been, which was $5.11. That would have given $25. But again, it didn't even have to be like that. Did not have to be this way. And then, glad I got out when I did. I resisted that temptation of being too greedy. And so, because after that, price just went continued going in that direction, right? So that was SHFS. And so while all that was going on, we have MLGO. And so MLGO, where are we talking? What are you talking about? So MLGO, you know, making a little bit of noise, nothing too much to write home about. 650 going into 7 o'clock. The 9 EMA crosses over the 20, so there's no move here, right? We are over the 200 EMA, so that's a wonderful thing. You're over the 200, good. And then I see my little setup here. Have my candle in charge, this hammer or flat top doji here. Get my next candle to make a new high. Boom, I'm in at 871. And look at that, that's beautiful. I go ahead and get out at $9.40. I'm at 85 cents profit. Got out early, got spooked. I have to get used to winning, right? I'm at the same time that this is going on, I'm upside down um, in the other stock at SHFS. And so I'm not even able to appreciate what's going on here. I do see that the MACD is still wide open, and so the 20, the 9 EMA is still thriving. Prices going strong above it, but the biggest thing that I would see at the time is that this was still open. I really did not have to sell. I could have taken it up from 940 to 1020. And of course, the frustration um, after I sell and then I'm in that other stock, and then I say, well, this just went up an additional 80 cents, right? From 940 to, well, to 1015, 75 cents. Could have used that 75 cents. But then continue with it. Remember, the party is not over until the 9 EMA crosses over the 20 EMA, crosses down over it. And so, yes, you have these red candles here, these selling candles here, but it doesn't mean that the party is over. It price comes down to the 20, and then it just starts to marinate a little bit. You get right here, it looks like it's trying to cross under, just kisses it ever so slightly. Boom, I go ahead and buy another 3 shares, but again, I so okay, the 9 does cross over here, but then just hangs out for a little bit. It comes back on up. I'm in for another 3 shares, so I'm 6 shares in, and it's just hanging out. And so I get a little nervous. Um, I mean, the 9 is just hanging with price. So again, so I'm 2 hours in. Well, no, not 2 hours. I'm about 90 minutes into SHFS as this is happening. So I just, you know what? Let me go ahead and sell my position here. Then I see it looks like it's starting to make another move. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes later. So I get in for another share. And then the 9 crosses under. I'm like, oh my goodness, just not. What am I doing? But then what happens? It kind of flushes itself out, you know. 9:30, come to the market opening. That's the other thing, time awareness, right? 9 o'clock. So while all this is going on, not too much to really party about. But then at 9:30, this thing starts to make a move, and so I get in. I get in here. No, actually, I'm buying. I'm selling here. All right, 9:28. I get in for one order at $9. Well, the time is 9:24. One share at $9.28. I sell at 9:31, and just before, 3 feet from gold, right? I sell at $9.50. This is the candle in charge I've been looking for all day, right? And as soon as it gets here, boom, price starts to make the move. 9.33 from $9.19 to $11.28. Continues 1262. Sorry, 1162. Tests at $12. Breaks $12 to 12.41. Takes a little dip. 9 takes a little dip below the 20. It's just filling itself out. I mean, it's staying there tough. Boom, new setup. Breaks up to 1270. New high of day. Just kind of hang it out. Now we get to 12 o'clock. I'm at lunch with the family, but checking my phone. My alerts are just going off. Boom, $13. Comes down a little bit. Test, hangs out. All of a sudden, boom, 13.50. $14, 14.50. And the whole time I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm fighting with SHFS, and all of this is going on. And so ultimately reaches a high of 16.50. So and kudos to anyone who was able to take advantage of MLGO today. And so yeah, I have to get better at picking the right stock. So we have MLGO, we have SHFS. What were the numbers looking like? So MLGO, you have a float of, well, you have a momentum 77,000 490% up for the day. The float, 4.5 million, so that's great for a float. It's gapped up 35%, relative volume 162%. That's huge. So it had all the right numbers, textbook, right? SHFS, paper looked good also. The biggest thing for me regarding SHFS was I did not have to get into that trade. I The 9 was not in position. I was anticipating it to make that move, but you can't anticipate with this. You have to get your confirmations. Did this happen? If this happened, then take this action. If this did not happen, then do not take that action that you wanted to take, right? So, um, I don't know which one stung more, the fact that I got into this trade with knowing, consciously knowing, breaking my own rule that said if the 9 EMA crosses under the 20 EMA, then there's nothing to do here. So I don't know what stung more, me breaking my own rule and being trapped in that stock, not taking the selling opportunities early, 1 minute, 2 minutes after I got into the trade, and then being in that for what, 3 hours to buy my way out of trouble, um, or having been in MLGO and selling off literally, what was this? MLGO, going the wrong way. I sold at 931. The move happened at, let's just say we wait till we get above, right? Um, the move, I started at 921. The hammer came at 933. 934, the move is happening, right? Let's just say 935. So I literally sold 2, 3 minutes before the real action was taking place. Even if all I did was went from where I started at 8:53 for my initial entry and took it up 8, 9, 10, 11, 11:25. That would have been 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's like $2.75, $3, something like that. I settled for 85 cents. Um, and again, the 9 had not crossed over or under, the 20. So, and the MACD was still wide open. And so I definitely should have stayed. But here's the thing, at least I know where I fell. I can do better. I can get better. Real before I do that talk, the last one to look at just to see, because it was beauty. It went off to my scanner, and um, yeah, I did not get into it because I was so involved with the one I should not have been messing with. So that's UPXI. UPXI. Um, UPXI, 8 a.m. news comes out that um, they're they are in a private placement raising some money, got like $100 million or something like that. And so that's right here at 8 a.m. All right. Price goes from $2.43. Let's just say it's right here, right? So first things first, is price over the 200 EMA? Yes. Is price over the 20 EMA? Yes. Is price over the 9 EMA? Yes. So it has all the right criteria for a good setup here. Goes from, just use this candle here, 274 to 425. I receive an alert, an email and an alert at 9:12, 9:13 actually is what the email, but on my unusual volume watch list scanner. So 8:12 a.m. it's already made a move from here to here, here to here, right? So these are large candles, right? If you look at the R right here, it tells you how much the candles were. So this was $1.15. This was $1.16. This was 72 cents, right? So these are some nice, heavy, high dollar, high value candles. So boom, from here to here, 425 to 622 to 670, right? 830, we're what, 646. So this move here, so from 584 to 890, so 884. Let's just call it for 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a $3 move right here in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes later, up to $11. And so what I got the alert at 8:13, the email, 8:13, 30 minutes later, it's up from $6 to $11, 11.30. Hangs out for a little bit, goes a little sideways. 9 o'clock, $12. So 11.30 to $12, it breaks $12 mark. Drops a little bit, $2. Hangs out, boom, here goes the open. 11.50 to just under $14. Boom, breaks $14. 14, test 14, breaks 14, test 15, breaks through 15, test 16, breaks through 16, test 17, shoots through 17 up to 1875, 1874, test $20, boom, hits $20, bounces down a little bit, back down to $17, and then hangs out around 17, and all of a sudden you start to see the move shaping up, kind of a hammer, boom, from 16 to 1950, looks like it wants to test $20 again or shoot through. One candle, you have a $6.44 candle. It goes from 1875 to $22, and then back down. The move is in for the day. But I mean, look at this candle right here, man. That's goes up, down, back to the middle, and then starts to kind of, that's the move for the day. But man, between MLGO and this one here, two huge, could have been a potentially huge day. But the good takeaways, one, is that I see what I'm doing wrong, I can get better. Two, my scanners are delivering me good quality stocks. I just have to get better at selecting the right ones to work with, and then taking the right action once I'm in. Get good entries and don't get spooked when I'm in a winning situation. Don't cap my winners, cap my losers. Don't stay in losers any longer than I have to. And so UPXI relative volume up 4,700%. Um, Momentum up 33,000% for the day. Float, low float 1.3 million. Gap of 346. So this definitely should have been something. Now I don't know that this is what the numbers look like this morning at 6 o'clock or 6:30, but this is definitely something to have had an eye on, and maybe it has some continuation going into tomorrow as well. So we'll see on that. But yeah, today, I finished green. I bought my way out of trouble, but I didn't have to be in that trouble to begin with. That's the big thing right there. Learn from that mistake. Don't, you know, the longer I'm in a bad trade, the more I'm missing on other opportunities that's all around me. So, you know, um, live to fight another day. I'm excited to get back to the charts in the morning. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, ring that bell or hit that bell, smash that bell. What you know what the young folks say. And so, yeah, did you trade any of these stocks today? Did you know? Did you look at any of them? You know, what was your trading day like? So let's keep it going. It's pretty cool right here, man. You know, I'm getting them. I'm getting the alerts. Now I just need to pay attention to the alerts when I receive them. Don't ignore them. I ask for them. They're being sent to me for a reason. Check it out. You know, so it's Will, candleincharge.com. We'll see you or speak with you in the next video.